Time to find out if 4 different personalities can play nice together. Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to another installment of Chillin' Netflix. Today we're going to find out if the first and possibly only season of The Defenders is worth checking out. Building up from 5 seasons of shows, 2 seasons of Daredevil and 1 each from Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist, the Hand have finally put their ultimate plan into action. While outmatched alone, our heroes may have a chance of stopping the Hand if they work together. The problem? They have to work together. First things first, I like how this series did a recap of each hero's kind of a where are they now in their lives. Matt Murdock has given up being Daredevil and working pro bono cases. Jessica Jones is still trying to get over her ordeal with Kilgrave, drinking a lot and not working. Luke Cage has just been released from prison with the help of Foggy Nelson and trying to figure out how he can help Harlem, and also gets to have coffee with Claire finally. And Iron Fist is hunting down the Hand, trying to figure out what happened to Kun Lun. When it comes to the story, the plot mainly focuses on things that happened in Daredevil and Iron Fist. Plots from Luke Cage and Jessica Jones are mentioned, but just as a recap. In this series, we finally get a full look at the Hand, their leadership, and their ultimate plan. For the most part, this worked, but I was a bit surprised that this wasn't handled in Daredevil's show. I thought this is what Season 3 was going to be. That being said, now I'm more excited about Season 3 of Daredevil. An obvious gripe of mine, this series was too short. Clocking in at 8 episodes, I feel that it needed more time to set up so many characters, both heroes and villains, and their stories. Not only that, but you have main and side characters meeting for the first time, and there is a lot going on. Did the 8 episodes work fine? Yeah, but I wanted more. Now, let's talk about this cast of very different characters. Much to my surprise, the motivations of all of them seem to really mesh well together. Daredevil is secretly hiding information he knows about the Hand and the Black Sky. Jessica Jones is still the untrusting loner who would probably not have gotten involved if Luke Cage wasn't there. By the way, I still don't buy the Luke Cage and Claire Temple as a couple thing. Here's hoping that Jessica Jones and Luke Cage end up back together. Luke Cage is having trouble buying into the mystical side of all the stuff that's going on because his powers are science-based. And Iron Fist will stop at nothing to destroy the Hand because he feels guilty about the disappearance of Kun Lun. Another side note, I like Danny Rand a lot more this time around. He comes off a lot more serious this time around. This helps with liking his character, and I also felt that him not being bogged down by the stupid Meacham subplot of his own show helped as well. A little bit of it comes up, but we don't have to deal with the Meachams, and that's a good thing. Now let's talk about the villains, the Hand. As I mentioned earlier, we get to learn a lot more about the Hand this time around, and especially their leader, played by Sigourney Weaver. I don't want to spoil too much, but I will say this. I felt that they were a bit generic, but were given the motivation of facing mortality for the first time, so that kind of worked. I think my favorite part of the plot is we finally get to meet the Black Sky and finally get a fully realized Elektra. I'm not going to say anything else more than that. Let's talk about the action. When the action happens, it's really great and it's a lot of fun, but I do have one big gripe about it. It's not just a problem with this series, but all the series under the Marvel Netflix banner. I am so tired of the quote-unquote dark room fights in these shows. I want more action that I can see, like the Daredevil hallway fight, for example. You know, I know they have to cover up effects and they have to cover up stuntmen and things like that, but, you know, everything can't be dark all the time. It takes away so much of what's going on. Now, did these 4 come together and make a great team? I have to say, seeing them come together finally was really cool. Not Avengers coming together cool, but it was still really neat to see. Speaking of the Avengers, and by extension the MCU, I'm kinda happy that the Netflix series has seemed to split away from the MCU. In the 8 episodes, I can only remember them kinda mentioning it once or twice. Just like with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I feel that having them together is really complicated, and that being said, the tone of this show is radically different from the movies. While I love the MCU movies, I really love the tone of these Netflix shows, the dark, gritty nature of them. Now, this will probably be an unpopular opinion, but I'm enjoying their own street-level world on its own. We're going to talk about the future of the Defenders, and I have to warn you, if you haven't seen the show, there might be some minor spoilers here. While I'd like to see him do another one of these because it was a lot of fun, I'm hearing that it might not even happen. If by chance it's not going to happen, I would still like to see Teamups happen instead. There's all sorts of cool stories that can happen. Iron Fist and Daredevil fighting the Hand, Luke Cage and Jessica Jones getting together again, Iron Fist and Luke Cage doing Heroes for Hire. Now this is a big spoiler, I'm going to talk about, did the Punisher show up? Even though in that one teaser trailer he was actually there, he's not in the show. While I am a little disappointed by that, I have to say that with only 8 episodes, putting him in there would make things even feel more crammed. Even though he wasn't in the show, that's okay because after the credits of The Defenders, we do get a Punisher trailer. Now I have to say, I like The Defenders, but I'm way more excited for this one. One batch, two batch, penny and dime. Now, is this show worth chilling and Netflixing? Of course it is. For what it is, it works. It's a good continuation of 4 different show stories. It's fun and action-packed despite my gripes about the action, and it leaves all the shows where they need to be. If you liked all the other shows, and even if you had a problem with Iron Fist like a lot of people did, you're gonna like everybody in this one. It's definitely worth 8 hours of your time. As always, thank you so much for watching. What did you think of The Defenders? Feel free to comment on it down in the section below. But remember, it's only just one guy's opinion. I'm Gino Reynolds from The Real Gino. Till next time.